Hello everybody, as you know, if you watched the last video post, my name's Jeff. I've been suffering with chronic fatigue syndrome now for over 11 years, and in the last 3 or 4 years I've started to understand from diagnosis what it is I'm dealing with and how to better manage my symptoms. I feel I'm much further forward now than I was when I first started 3 or 4 years ago, in terms of progressing along this path of recovery, but still I am not sort of fully recovered, and some days and some phases I feel like I've regressed almost to the start again, and the main reason is because whilst I meditate and calm my mind, and that's very beneficial for me, and we've substantially changed our diets, and we're very careful about what we eat and the proportions of what we eat, and the sources of the foods that we intake. I still haven't managed to properly address that third element, which is to reduce the level of physical activity, allowing the body to relax and recover properly. But the purpose, as I mentioned, of this video diary is to make myself accountable, to make sure that I'm checking in, not only accountable to me but also to the viewers that I assume are out there, and I'll be very honest. I won't be fabricating some sort of miraculous recovery. That wouldn't help me, and it wouldn't help anybody else watching. I'll be very honest. And this week I've probably not been as strict with the reduced physical activity as I should have been. For most of the week I was. I still work in the week, 3 days out of 5. I've reduced my overall working week, which gives me a space of time to relax and recover. And when I do have things to do physically, I can spread them over time. But still, I feel this week I've probably done a little bit too much. Not as much as I have in previous weeks, so yes, on the right track, but not being as kind to myself as I probably really should be if I'm aiming to move seriously along this road of recovery and get beyond this stagnation spot. In CFS groups and recovery programs, they'll often talk about sort of when you're feeling better or better than you were the day before, to invest that time, not to think, hey, everything's good, I can crack on, and then dive straight into exercise or physical activity, but to actually invest by doing, again, a limited amount. And so it's that area that I've really got to be strict with myself on. I know this, but yeah, I still fall into the trap. There's things to do, obviously, around the home. There's things to do. We all have things to do, but I need to better manage those activities and be realistic about what I can achieve at this point in time. On my polyvagal scale, which I talked about, the scale of 1 to 10, and I think I said at the time, I'm generally, and I've been for some time now, in the amber zone, where I'm sort of getting better. I'm getting closer to the green zone where I feel I could exercise, but I not quite got into that happy space where I feel really good today. I never wake up in the morning and think, hey, I feel great, today's going to be a good day. If I did, I'd probably be inclined to sort of do things I probably shouldn't do and not reinvest that time. But I've never really got there anyway. There's been days when I felt a little better, a little bit more able, but I've never really gotten to the green zone. So hopefully over the next few weeks and months, I will visit that green zone more often. And with the progress that I'm hoping to make, then the knowing part of this process, I talked about, you start out hoping because you hope that somebody has an answer. There's a way to get past this, to believing because you start understanding, you hear about things, and you hear about recovery, and you become more educated about the mechanisms for that. I've moved, I feel, into the the knowing stage where I've seen benefits from what I'm doing, but I want to be further beyond where I am now. So hopefully with progress, I can enhance that knowing status, and then that'll give me confidence and give me encouragement to continue and to be even stricter with my physical activity levels. So as of today, I'd say I'm between a 4 and a 5 on that scale, and let's see how we get on in the next few weeks. So the last video was far too long. I appreciate that, but I was sort of scene setting and trying to make it clear why I was doing this. We are now just over 5.5 minutes. I'll try and keep further posts, updates shorter. But for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time and the care to listen. Yes, stay well as you can. Stay positive, and know that you can actually recover from this condition. Bye for now.